So I always thought this was going to be like the end of the game. I don't know why, because it only lasted about 2 hours. But I didn't realise back then the PlayStation 4 games were, unlike the PlayStation 3 ones, about 17 hours minimum. So yeah, I thought like, oh, he's got the lad now. He's gonna smash his face, and you can see there Scarecrow's clearly like damaged still from his encounter with Killer Croc in Arkham Asylum. And it's great how the stakes sort of raise here. I don't know why he throws the lad down on the ground there. He should have like incapacitated him in some way, because he's clearly gonna sneak off. But yeah, oh, what a surprise. He just snuck out the room when you were on your phone. That's sort of a metaphor for kids today. They miss everything that's going on because they're standing out on their phone talking to some girl like, yeah, Batman was. So we're all a bit like Batman in a way when you think about it. Cheers, son. Yeah, this bit's a bit boring because you're literally just walking about the room, playing sort of the interactive digital version of Operation. I don't know if you've ever played that game, but you've basically got to move as slowly as possible your metal conductors and pick stuff out of a hole without setting the trap off, and that's pretty much what this section of the game is. So not exactly the most fun thing to do when you're playing as Batman. I remember this pretty much just, yeah, if you fail on this as well, you've got to do the whole thing again. So it sort of slows down the pacing of it, but you know, it does feel a lot more tense as it starts to ramp up. You see the explosions about you, and you realise that if Batman does go through with this, then he's gonna like kill himself. And there's Scarecrow's old mask there on the floor just lying about. I don't know why the hell that's there. He must have just, you know, he was wearing it just to bring back the good old days. It is quite strange that, because last time we seen that it was on top of a bridge on Arkham City. So he's went up there, he's got that down, he's carried it around in his pocket, and he's just been walking around with it. He's been walking around with two masks, a bit like Batman. I don't know if you've ever seen, like, sometimes in stuff they unmask Batman and he's got a mask underneath it, like a weirdo. That was always a great bit of the game when the Joker shows back up. Obviously it's, you know, it's widely known now that the Joker's a massive part of Arkham Knight, and I always kind of wondered if they were going to bring them back, even though they killed him in the last one. And to be honest, the way that they do in this game, which is where you're constantly hallucinating that he's there, and because Batman knows the Joker so intimately, he's able to, you know, accurately give the responses that the Joker would. It just adds such a depth to the villain, and I actually prefer that over him being a physical presence in this game. Like, I think it works a lot better just him constantly being there. The banter that he provides is also like really engrossing, and it's great how Batman's biggest fear is that he's one day gonna turn into the Joker, and you know, he's in his head, and you can sort of see things from his side, and it makes Batman a lot more relatable. You've got in this scene here Commissioner Gordon's approaching the new Batcave, which is located at Panessa Studios. I'm not a big fan of the Panessa Studios thing. I think it would have been better if you went to Gotham, or sorry, to Wayne Manor. We've got the Grey Ghost there, famously that's homaging a Batman the Animated Series episode in which Adam West appears to do the voice of the Grey Ghost, and it basically centers around this murderer who's committing the crimes that once happened in the Grey Ghost TV show. So Batman enlists the help of the Grey Ghost, Adam West, and they sort of work together to take down this criminal, and it's just a really good like callback to the 1966 show, and it's one of my favourites, you know. And we've got Gordon here sort of exploring all this. It's great that Batman sort of brought him into the ground level, because the threat's gotten so big. And I remember seeing this for the first time and kind of not knowing exactly what was going on, but obviously you can see on these characters like they are getting very similar looks wise to the Joker. Like this could easily be a cosplay. You know, them lasses who walk around Comic-Con dressed as the Joker. Yeah, so there's a one. There's another lad. He's probably the closest bit. He also probably has the best bit in the game, I think. So it's great seeing all these characters, sort of different takes on the Joker almost, which, you know, every 10 years when we get a rebooted universe, we get a different take on the Joker. And honestly, some of these could fit right in. Like the female one's really good, Johnny Charisma's really good, the wrestler guy, you know, he's alright, the old guy, he's really good, this lad. Have some great bit. Oh, and it's good how Batman just sneaks up behind him like, hey, you alright? Like, I went to see Annabelle last night, and quite a lot of jump scares are from people just walking in the room going, hey, what are you up to, what are you doing? Which is a bit lazy. So this is tying back in with Arkham City, and it's sort of picking up the loose ends that were left there. And they, you know, I didn't see it the first time, but they heavily hint, spoiler alert, that Batman's slowly succumbing to this disease as well, because you've got the cell there that hasn't got anyone in, and Batman heavily insinuates during this section that, you know, there's one person left.
But mutated beyond. You said 5, I only count 4. There's one missing.
Oh, I wonder who that one could be. And it's very clearly pointed out, but I never picked up on it. Like, look, he's in the cell. So did you get that? You know, there's a comment section on this video. No one ever uses it, so thanks for that. But you can make the difference now and write down, did you know that spoiler? And another great aspect of this game is how close they get into things, and then they can zoom out, but there's so much detail on everything. This is definitely the best looking Joker in a game that we've ever seen, and it's just absolutely breathtaking how good this is. And the fact that they managed to keep it a secret that Mark Hamill was in the game was absolutely amazing. So Mark Hamill really didn't mention anywhere, and I think even in the lead up to this, Mark Hamill said that he would never ever play the Joker again, unless they did The Killing Joke, which of course they did end up doing the animated series version of. It wasn't amazing, was it? Like that first hour with Barbara Gordon was terrible. But anyway, they kept all the secret that he was in the game, and just to have him come back was like a massive fan moment for me, like proper fanboyed out there. And Mark Hamill obviously famously played Luke Skywalker, and it's good that his career's sort of getting a revival. He's appeared in The Flash a couple of times. Obviously Star Wars is massive now, and it's good that the lad's finally getting the you know, the respect that he deserves, because he's such a good voice actor. If you ever get a chance to check out X2 on the PlayStation 2 with Wolverine, he actually voices Wolverine through that entire game, and his voice is completely unrecognizable. I mean, so you just give that a quick little YouTube, and it's crazy how much dynamics he has within his voice and how he's able to perform. And this is sort of a great callback to The Killing Joke, as mentioned before. You've got Barbara Gordon there. She's just sitting chilling at home. It's not quite how it happened in the original story, because Commissioner Gordon was there with her. The Joker then just comes in, shoots her. He makes a joke about how she's broke the coffee table. She's a hardcover edition, but the spine's a little broken. That's great. I don't know how he knew that he broke her spine from shooting her, but you know, it's great. Originally in The Killing Joke, the Joker actually undresses Barbara Gordon, and it's very heavily insinuated that he molested her or stuff like that. And basically it's all sort of in the vein of trying to turn Commissioner Gordon insane. So when the Joker kidnaps Commissioner Gordon, he takes him on a fun house ride that then you know, it sort of it's very horrific, and he displays all of the photos of Barbara in her undress, and yeah, not very nice at all. And I love the way that this game constantly changes the environment around you. It's just so seamless, and I'd never ever seen anything in a game like this before. So the way that just everything merges together, it's absolutely brilliant, and it's definitely just, it keeps up the illusion that you're hallucinating, whereas you don't have loading screens, and it's just so well done. You've also got the Oracle symbol there hanging up. That mask sort of is often used by Oracle as a motif, and sort of a signature. You've got the Shakespeare bust there as well from the 1966 Batman series. That is a big, massive part of the show. It's what Batman and Robin used to open the Batcave up, so it's nice to just see it in the background there. Yeah, and just lovely little touch. And this is sort of Batman being like, oh yeah, by the way, your daughter, she was embroiled in all this shit that I had.
Stronger than you realize.
And it's a bit of a shame that Barbara Gordon, you know, she was crippled by the Joker. And when they did the New 52, they rebooted the universe so that she was paralyzed for some point, but she eventually got the use of her legs back. Which I don't want to sound like, you know, bad, but I actually prefer the character when she was paralyzed, because it sort of was empowering for disabled people to really see that, you know, whilst she is paralyzed, that she's not helpless. There's still things that she can do in the world. She still massively assists Batman. To me, she's Batman's greatest ally. The intel that she provides, you know, she's always the voice in his ears. She's always really helping him, and that was kind of taken away with the New 52 reboot. You know, there's pros and cons to it, because the New 52 Batgirl she's great. But yeah, losing Oracle, I'm kind of like, I kind of wish Oracle was still around, because great character, gave a great message for disabled people, much in the same way that Daredevil does as well. You know, that disabled people aren't left out because of their disability. With Oracle, you know, they're as much a helping hand as the allies who are out there in the field. Unfortunately, this part of the game sort of really slows the pacing down. So I've basically just been driving along. I've had to disarm a bomb by protecting it from getting shot upon by tanks, you know, the boring bits. And then you get to this bridge and you've got to disarm, you've got to lower the bridge, but then in doing so, Riddler pops up and you've got to go stop Riddler from getting Catwoman or some crap. And it's basically, there's too many roadblocks at this part of the game that, you know, you just want to just get on with it. I know a lot of people kind of dislike the Fear multi-takedowns. To be honest, I quite like it, the way that adds a bit of strategy into building them up and chaining all your combos together. Yeah, it's a bit gamey, but you know, it's not horrendous. There's a lot worse things in this game, especially the 400 tank things. But I mean, like, there was two ways that I've taken down the group there, where one was I did the built up the takedown and used that to basically dismantle all my foes. The other one was I just threw a smoke bomb down and used that to just, you know, just pull a guy in and beat the shit out of him. So there is sort of a hit and miss thing there with them. Like, whilst I can see why people do dislike them, I think it's a nice thing, and there's a lot of strategic moments like that in games now. Like, if you play Splinter Cell, you can build up combo takedowns like that if you have a stealth one, and it just speeds up the gameplay really, and I think it makes you feel a lot more like Batman. Like, he rushes in, he has the element of surprise, and again it's another thing that Zack Snyder captured perfectly in Batman v Superman, so I haven't really got massive beef with it, to be honest. And whilst Riddler's talking a load of crap, we've got the two blimps there, and it's great how throughout the game they sort of move towards the island there where they eventually get harpooned in. They play a huge aspect in the Gotham skyline, and I think it's sort of inspired by the Watchmen comic book. If you read that, there's a lot of blimps in, and that kind of plays into the sort of art decor style that Gotham City as a whole has. And it's just nice to see them in the skyline. If you ever watched the first episode of the Batman animated series, that's how it starts off. It's got the blimps floating along, Man-Bat flies in front of them, and then I think Batman does, and it's just a really good thing to see them in the skyline. You can also see in the skyline there Wayne Manor, and I've just passed me Riddle there, and there's the bloody Joker sitting on the balcony. So thanks very much for checking out my video. Really appreciate it. I'm going to be doing a playthrough like this every week where I sort of play through the game, show you the highlights, and then from there sort of talk more in depth about what inspired the creators, if there were any graphic novels like that, or what has sort of been replicated in the films. So yeah, thanks a lot for checking this out. Like my channel if you want, subscribe to it as well please, yeah, otherwise I'll knock you out, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot, bye.